Hey you guys, welcome back to Michael Claire to Hearts. Thanks for clicking on the thumbnail. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a product that I think I've been putting off a very long time. You know, I always say that I don't mind reviewing products that really have an application to here in the studio, and that involves a lot. You know, from art supplies to computers to peripherals to, furniture, lighting. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on in the studio, cameras. I mean, there's just a lot, right? Not only in my professional career, but also in my YouTube endeavors. It's very important that I have the proper tools for the job. And I am very happy that I get to review products, sometimes inside and outside of that parameter. Outside being maybe I'll review a lamp or something along those lines, or a computer stand. Inside those lines, maybe some markers, maybe a computer, maybe a display tablet, whatever it is. But one of the things that I really have enjoyed through my entire tenure as an illustrator and artist, but also as a designer, somebody that's worked in larger studios and in a studio environment such as Disney, Universal Studios, whatever it is, and you're around people and there's stuff going on. Not all of us have the ability in our natural minds and ears to really tone things out, kind of phase things out, and not allow our environment to affect the way we work. And back 20 years ago, I utilized some really heavy studio grade headphones, and those were fantastic. I probably use, and I still own them, I use them on my drum kit here. And those headphones really cover my ears and separate me from the environment. And what I'm talking about basically is being able to tune out and focus. And headphones help me do that. Headphones, earbuds, anything to cover my ears, earplugs, something that really separates me from my environment and doesn't let sound really affect me as I work. I'm one of those guys that needs quiet. Have I been able to overcome different aspects of that? Yeah, because I live in a house, I have kids. Even though I'm in my own studio environment, there is on occasion noise, and I have to deal with that. Nowadays, with technology and how technology has really progressed to the point where going with the over-the-ear kind of just separation is not always something that I need to do. There is technology out now called noise cancellation, where there are little tiny microphones on the devices that we put in our ears or on our ears that accept the sound going in, and then they project and broadcast a sound that is completely opposite in the sound spectrum to cancel out those sounds. And that is awesome. I think with today's technology, you can insert some type of bud or some type of whatever it is, earphones, and you can really get a nice environment listening to your own music or listening to silence, whatever is your preference whenever you work. I used to be a sound engineer back in the day, so I have a really firm grasp on sound equipment, sound, how it's processed, how it's translated, analog sound, digital sound, wavelengths, frequencies, hertz, different things that most of us as individuals really could care less about. But it gives me a unique perspective on what makes a quote unquote good headphone, as well as the fact that I have owned probably, just as a moment of reflection, probably in excess of 50, that's 50 different types of headphones, earbuds, whatever it is. Because again, as that engineer, as that person who really needs to have really good ear devices, ones that are comfortable, ones that sound good, ones that aren't that expensive, and I've gone through a gamut of different brands. I've really covered a lot. And I've seen the technology progress. I've seen it progress from, again, those studio headphones that the design really harkens back to the 70s and 60s and 70s, which is your baseline headphone to cover your ears, and it projects a sound that's very neutral. So you've seen different earphones and earbuds in the marketplace, like your Beats, your Dr. Dre Beats, and some of those other earphones that really project bass. And I think those are well and good if you want to listen to a lot of bass in your music. But from my taste, I like a neutral that I can go in and tune. So tune meaning I can go in and tune it to the way that I like. A lot of the earbuds and earphones now come with an application, and you can go in and change different levels to your liking. They do have presets, as we all have seen, or a lot of us have seen, not all, but a lot of us have seen in the market. And one of the biggest things that I think that is a driving factor with regards to I don't even know how to describe earbuds, earphones, would probably be price. And that is something we're going to talk about as well, because you can spend $300-400 on stuff, $200-300, and you're getting a product that basically is just kind of a knockoff of another product. Who is innovating? Who is doing things at the forefront? Who, and I'm meaning the companies, who is developing products for their customers and their clients and their users that really are innovative and comfortable to wear, price point, and then of course battery life. We'll talk about battery life as well. But I say all that because I'm a big context guy. I don't click on a video and expect the person to basically go deep. Most of the time, people will say, hey, we're going to review X product. Let's do an unboxing. And literally it takes 2 seconds, and then the review process is less than 10 minutes. I don't do that because I remember going and clicking on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 videos before I get a firm grasp on exactly what the product is and whether or not I should buy it. I rely heavily on reviews, and I go and I do a lot of research, and you should do the same. This video is going to dive a little bit deeper into the product that we're going to be reviewing today, but we will be comparing and contrasting with other existing products in the marketplace so you understand you have a choice. And this particular product is made by a company called Tozo, Tozo. They sent me this product. They contacted me and they said, hey, we've got, let's go ahead and zoom in. We've got a really cool product, earbuds, noise cancellation, active noise cancellation. See, that's the big factor, active. I talked about that microphone on the side of the bud that accepts the sound, processes it, and then puts it into your ear without all of the other things that are in the environment. And yeah, they're NC9 active noise cancellation earbud by Tozo, Tozo. If you're interested, it's tozostore.com. Go in and look to see what they offer. Look on their Amazon store. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into it. And I will be talking heavily about other buds. I mean, I've got in my collection, I've got a myriad of different buds, but we will be comparing them to Apple, the Apple Earbuds Pro, AirPods Pro, Earbuds 2, Pro 2, whatever. And then the Sonys. These are my two current rotations that I have in my collection. And I also have Microsoft over-the-ear Microsoft 2 noise cancellation. And I will be referencing those as we go through the review process. So let's go ahead and start the review process, unboxing of the Tozo NC9 active noise cancellation earbuds. So let's get started. As mentioned before, Tozo, T-O-Z-O, is the name of the company. Here is the graphic on the box. Shrink wrapped, very similar form factor to some of the other earbud products that I have owned in the past. They don't want to impact the environment with too much packaging, but definitely want it to be protected in transport. So, what are some of the features these earbuds tout as far as quality and QC, quality control and features? So obviously there's an LED on the front that shows some type of charge or hourage. Looks like a battery on the left, and the battery on the right, it shows individual bud charging status. This is also a very similar form factor to, let's say, this is the Sony's. I have them currently in a case, and you can see the form factor is very similar to the Sony's. You remove the bud, and then it is ready for use. This is the last generation, I believe the Mark III or Mark IV of the Sony noise cancellation highest end earbud. And then of course we have the Apple AirPod, I think it's AirPod Pro. AirPod Pro 2. Again, the form factor is very similar. So you can see Tozo is emulating existing higher end. Now, retail on these, this is the AirPod Pro 2, I believe is about $250. And for that, you get a lot. You get a lot in referencing features. You get an app. You get 15 hours to 18 hours of battery life, I believe. Active noise cancellation. You also get where you can go places and it will record where you're going, so it's got GPS if you lose them. And 15 hours, I believe, in just the buds, and whenever you include this, I think it's up to 40 hours total. And very similar for the Sony's. Again, you get an application, you get active noise cancellation, you get an extended battery life because the case is the charger. Here's the little USB-C. So Tozo, again, with that form factor showing you that they're very similar, and they've added an LED screen, which I think is great because whenever you go to the Apple, I just push a button. Oh yeah, we're good to go. And it doesn't give you the amount of time left that you can utilize. I have to actually go to my phone and look. And the same thing with these. When you open them up, you can see the little red light right there. Currently, they're charging, but it does need to be recharged because that little red light came on. With the Tozo unit, you can just pull them out of your pocket. You can look and say, hey, here's whatever it is, 40 hours. It's got 3 mics for noise cancellation. It's got hybrid active noise cancellation. I don't know what that means, but we're going to look into it. Built-in LED level display for the charge, and 10mm dynamic driver. So a lot of you don't understand, and this is something that I know about just because of exposure to it and the levels to which knowledge has been imbued over the years to me by choice. Drivers are important because driver indicates power, indicates robustness, and it indicates the ability to drive different frequencies of sound. So the more powerful a driver, the louder it's going to get, and the fuller the sound will be, because you want a full sound whenever you buy something like this. Okay, user manual. Looks like activate warranty. So it comes with a warranty. Here's a quick guide, which is really nice. Bluetooth pairing, because they are Bluetooth noise cancellation earbuds. It shows you, let me see here. It does give you different sizes, it looks like, for the buds. Smart touch control, so it does have touch, which is really nice. Previous song, so it does, it's got touch. Very similar again to the Sony's. See this area right here? I can double tap this, I can tap this, I can long hold this. This is again becoming a standard feature on buds. So you take the Apple unit out, and it's got this area right here that you can hold, you can single hold, you can double tap, and that activates different features on the bud, so you don't have to go into the application on your phone or go to your phone every single time you want to make a modification. Okay, here's the charge cable. I presume USB-C because that is the standard these days, plugging into USB, which is interesting. I would think that USB-C to USB-C, because a lot of the chargers are going USB-C these days. But again, here's a charger from one of my other units, and it plugs right in and I can charge my earbuds. I hope that they came from the factory pre-charged. Most stuff does. And here's the user manual. So you've got a quick start guide. If you don't want to get in deep with the user manual, you just use the quick start guide. You pair and you move forward. I think a lot of people who will be watching these videos will be already partially knowledgeable about the process of pairing such a interesting piece of technology. Who would have thought years and years ago we would go with this form factor where you have two different separate entities? Because I always thought, oh, I'm going to lose one, I'll never be able to, because I lose a lot of things, right? I'll never be able to keep things handily available and ready so I can use them. But I haven't lost either one of my Sonys or my Apple. Little pieces of plastic. Again, small. It is a small unit. Here are the buds sizing. Different sizing for the inserts to your ears. I think some of the other companies obviously do it better, but this company at a form, I think the price point is $35 to $50, which makes them right in that sweet spot of the capability of most individuals. Most individuals aren't going to look at Apple at $250 and say, oh, I want to spend $250 on a pair of earbuds. Because honestly, that's a lot of money for earbuds. I mean, that's ridiculous. And I think the Sonys at the time these were purchased were $350 to $370. Now, obviously, I didn't spend that much on these because I have ways of getting things at a discount through individuals, people that work at Apple, and so on and so forth. And I didn't pay full price, but I still paid, in excess of over $50, $75 to $100. So I think there is definitely value in spending at least that much on a pair of good earbuds. And here are they feel like silicone, real soft. Different sizes. They're not presented in a way that is really hard. It's not great that they just kind of put them in a plastic bag, but I understand in terms of your price point, you can't really put things together effectively at a discounted price rate or a price point. So just a case in point, what I was talking about in terms of individual, this is kind of the way they used to come, right? Your active noise cancellation ear. These are made by Sennheiser. I've had these for 15 years. And they still work. The MM100s, they don't make these anymore. But back in the day, these would go over your ears and Bluetooth and very reliable. I got about 15 hours out of these. And you had this wire, this plastic entity that went around your neck. And they're very comfortable. I use these working out. And I always wanted to have something like this. But I always thought, man, if that happened, I would lose that. So let's go ahead and open them up. Looks like they've got little protectors here. Interesting. Oh, I understand. They put that on there so it doesn't touch the charging entity. So let's go ahead and remove both buds out. Looks like it's got the smallest bud adapter for the ears. I will be changing that out. Most of the time these just pull off really easily, which these look like they do, because my ear canal is a little bit bigger than your average Joe, so I usually go with either the largest or the medium size. So let's go ahead and remove that. We're going to go ahead and use this one. This looks like it's the upper medium, just below the largest size, and it goes right on, which is really nice. Again, pull these off, be very delicate. I usually take them and I push and I just kind of roll it off of the speaker entity. Okay, let's push that over there. And again, and if you have different size ear canals, I suppose you could change as needed. So, fit and finish and quality. That's what I always like to say first. First of all, right, it is marked R. And L. These little copper little diode, or not diodes, little indicators in there. Those are your charge nibs. Here's your charge nib right there. Again, very similar. We're going to go over to Apple. Very similar to Apple. Apple uses looks like a stainless ring on here. And then your Sony's use something similar. They have a 3 nib right here. Okay, very similar. And the Tozo branded. I always like seeing branded materials because a lot of times you'll have companies, and this is engraved, embossed into the plastic. So you can see some R&D went into this overall. And it looks like, I'm looking for the microphone for active noise cancellation. I would surmise that those little 2 dots right there would probably be the noise cancellation microphone. Here's the charge case. It's a little light. Typically, I like to see, and we're at 100%, which is nice. So what we'll do, because I surmise that these are probably limited in their charge, so we're going to go ahead and click these on. No, 100% charge each side. So it wasn't 400 as noted as the box, because if you look at the box, it looks like a 4, but it's not. So let's go ahead and do this. Left side 100, right side 100. That's pretty awesome. So I don't have to open my app or anything. I can put this in my pocket. I can have it wherever I go. Again, branded on the top, which I like to see, not tampo printed, because tampo printed, a lot of the companies will purchase earbuds like this. They'll tampo print their logo on the top, and they'll say that they created them, which they did not. A lot of times they just put that tampo print on there and then they sell it, and they have no understanding of exactly what they're selling. But Tozo looks like and it's straight. I don't see any kind of up or down. And it's rounded. Now, in terms of size and weight, it does feel a little light. And the size, and comparatively speaking, now my earbuds, these are in a case. I don't want to really take that off. I can take this one off pretty easy, though. So in terms of case, you've got the Sony's on the left, you've got the Tozos on the right. So case size, very comparative. Mess that up here. Now, a lot of companies will use a little key ring or something, but I think this is perfectly fine. I did have a pair of Samsungs very similar to this in quality. Here's the charge right here and the button to show status. And the magnet. I don't think it has a magnet. It's just a hinge. I don't feel a magnet. Whereas these, I feel a magnet. So there's a magnet holding this down. And there's a magnet holding this down. Magnet on the Sony's, magnet on the Apple. As far as the Tozos go, I'm not feeling a magnet. It's just a hinge. So the hinge back here, now I might be incorrect, but I do not see, well, that might be it right there. That might be the magnet right there. Interesting. And it does have a nice little lip right here that you can open. Okay, so I'm going to do the pairing procedure here. Pretty simple. It says, basically, if it has not paired before, you can see I've got a lot of stuff paired, to go ahead and just take the buds out, place them in your ear, which I will do here in a moment. But if they have not been paired before, you'll see the light blinking, which it is, and we'll come down here to see if it recognizes the device. And there they are, Tozo NC9. So go ahead and do that. And now they are connected. So let's go ahead and look at the features. Device type. We'll go ahead and do headphone. And this is on the latest and greatest iPhone. So let's go ahead and put them in our ears. So, putting in the Tozo NC9s. So, basically what the instructions said is to insert into ear and twist slightly. Those really soft bud protectors over the speaker element really fit perfectly into my ears. I chose wisely. Can't tell you how many times I've gotten ear fatigue. I did shake my head quite a bit and there was no movement at all. And even with the buds completely in, that actually helped with sound isolation. I was delightfully surprised. I don't do a lot of head banging anymore, But occasionally, whenever I'm on a bike ride or something like this, if I do, do anything that jostles my head, I don't want my bud falling out. Now, the controls are very easy to use from the long hold, which I believe turn the volume down on the left, the long hold turn the volume up on the right, and then I have single tap, which forwards the song, double tap, I believe, which stops the song, and then double tap on the left, which started the song over. Very, very easy to use. Unfortunately, it is both hands, so I'd have to really get used to that. Because, yeah, I'm not used to doing both hands with the buds. Okay, so as I progress through the review process of these particular units, I will definitely keep an open mind, because even though I've had a lot of experience and I've got my faves, right? We all have our faves. As far as the tech we use, whenever we get new tech, a lot of times we compare it to the upper echelon of products. Now, do I think in terms of how they sound is really good? Yes. And I always, whenever I used to watch earbud and earphone reviews, I always wanted to hear what the sound was, right? So these particular earbuds, they kind of lean a little bit towards the bass side, which is completely fine. But the highs, I think, are lacking a little bit. And the maximum volume I got from my iPhone was probably about 60% in comparison to my other earbuds. So like if I put my Apples in, the maximum volume on the Tozo units were about 60% of what the Apple units could produce. Now, that's not a bad thing. And the noise cancellation was really, really good on the Tozo units. A lot of that has to do with those silicone rubber inserts, because you want to get rid of all the ambient sound that's around and rely upon the Tozo units to really filter out the extraneous sounds. In terms of fit and finish is great. The fitment is really good. I put them in, as you saw, and I twisted a little bit, which seated the earbud really well in my ear canal. Overall pairing was really good and really easy. You saw, I called my daughter, and she's she's very good at giving a baseline, honest answer. And I switched back and forth from the iPhone microphone, which has, I believe, noise isolation and voice isolation on it, and to the Tozo units. And she actually preferred the Tozo units as opposed to the iPhone microphone. And she did say it was different. It wasn't necessarily better, but it was different and it sounded clearer, and the highs and lows are really crisp. The only thing that I can really see, which would kind of be a hang up for me, but also, I don't know, because I don't want to blast my ears, and they say that there is a maximum volume that you should sustain. It shouldn't be over like 91 decibels, and for any length of time, because you would incur hearing damage. And I wouldn't want to do that, for obvious reasons. And the Tozo units, I played jazz, I played classical, I played ambient sound, which is like forest sounds. I did play some brown sound, brown music, pink noise, brown noise, and white noise. I use those a lot whenever I work. And then I played classic 80s rock and roll. And overall, I give them about the Tozo units about an 8 out of 10 in terms of presentation. Decent highs. I could use a little bit more highs there. The lows were perfectly fine and the mid-range was fine. What it was lacking was that fullness of dynamic sound that you might get maybe from a pair of Sonys. Of course, at $370, of course, you're going to get something a little bit more robust. Overall. Now, you did see me go in and touch the different sides. And what I think is interesting is you use both sides. So you use both hands to actuate and cause the buds to perform their function. So like a single tap, double tap, a long hold, which I think is interesting. So the long holds on your left ear is volume down. Long hold on the right ear is volume up. Double tap on your right forwards the song, double tap on your left makes the song repeat or goes back to the previous song. So very easy to use, and overall, I so far give them a really decent rating because of that price point being less than $60, which is pretty awesome. Okay, currently on Amazon, you can see their NC9 earbuds listed. Got some different indications of what exactly they can do. Advanced active noise cancellation. It will reduce the sound around you by 45 decibels, which is very impressive. You've got bass down to 15 hertz, which again, that wavelength, so it'll carry longer. Then you've got the app. So that's something that I mentioned before that I was kind of looking at going, man, I wish they had an app. Well, lo and behold, they do. Download it from the App Store, and you can change different modes. It's got wind noise resistance, which is fantastic. Noise cancellation is very robust. Leisure mode, normal mode, and you can do a custom pattern if you want, which is, again, very nice to have. And I was questioning that whole EQ thing. They've got a standard EQ, and you've got different sound effects, standard, and you've got presets, which is really nice. Very similar, again, to that Sony app. So they've got a bunch of presets, which is really awesome. You click the rock one right here, and yep, and there you go. So now we're ready to rock. So it says 2,000 personalized EQs shared by global audio files. That's audio files, fillets. Anyway, so here we are. It's got 59-hour playtime. That, of course, is not the earbuds by themselves, but rather the charging case combined with the earbuds. You've got 59 hours. And that microphone, as noted by the conversation I had with my daughter, she actually preferred the Tozos as opposed to the iPhone, which I thought was fantastic. Smart power technology, exclusive algorithms, so on and so forth. So it basically will charge your earbuds and not wear out the battery, because, again, we know battery life is very important as it pertains to products like this. Pi 5.3 Bluetooth. It's got IPX8 water resistance, so you can take them working out. I wouldn't recommend you diving into water, but overall, just a great feature. One-step pairing, which again, you saw, very easy to use. And the fit. So far, I've been wearing these the whole time, and I don't have any ear fatigue. And that's a big deal for me, because I use earphones and earbuds for an extended amount of time. So let's check out the application. Again, we've got different presets. And you can access, so it said audio files, audio fillets, people that really take audio seriously, and you can have access to their EQs as well, custom EQs, which is pretty nice. So we're at rock currently. It does have an AI feature, which I'm not really going to get into currently, but we will look at that a little bit later. AI chat, which is nice. And then, of course, they've got their store if you want to research some of their other products that they have. Those look really nice. Tozo's a great company, it looks like. Really robust products, a broad spectrum of offerings for you at a decent price point. Currently on Amazon, if I researched that correctly, currently on Amazon, let's go back. Go back here. Currently $39.99. That, my friends, is a bargain for a decent pair of water resistant, noise cancellation, 59-hour app. It didn't have to pay for the app. 59-hour pair of earbuds. These would be great for students, and they've got a very high rating on Amazon. And they come in different colorways, which is really nice. Dark blue and matte red. But they're temporarily in stock just because I'm sure that they're popular. So, Tozo. Let's talk about them and do a wrap-up. So, what did I think overall? Well, what I'm going to do, and this is something that I do quite a bit on this channel, is I'm going to use them. I'm going to probably use these exclusively for a myriad of different things, from working in my office to yard work. I actually use noise cancellation headphones whenever I do yard work, so I don't damage my ears from any kind of motor. Working out, I'll use them working out, and I'll also use them whenever I do any meetings or phone calls or anything like that. It's important to note that, again, that's a feature that people look for in wireless earbuds. And how the battery performs. Whenever you involve noise cancellation, that's whenever the battery starts kind of going down. And typically you get, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours, 2.5 hours, I would say 2.5 hours maximum on one charge, depending on how big the earbud is. Again, I have not taken these out at all since I started the review, and overall, I'm very happy. That little change I made with regards to the EQ and the preset EQs, I thought really made a difference. I was able to listen to some of the 1980s rock songs that I got to experience as a kid, and it really made a difference. Those pre-done preset EQs are really nice, but it's also nice that they don't really force anything on you out of the box, and you put them in and it sounds good. Again, that limiting factor of producing a product that will actually damage your ears, and Tozo has taken that into mind, because some of the other earbuds I have, I can turn them up loud and it literally is really, really loud. And you would say, well, that's my choice. I want to make that choice. And that's completely fine if you do that. But Tozo definitely has your hearing in mind, because earbuds can be damaging overall. But like I said, they out of the box, they sound good. They're kind of neutral with a little bit hinty of the bass. But whenever I switched over to that rock EQ, it had a much more robust, fuller sound. Very clear. And what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to start using them over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, probably month. And I'll come back and I'll do a final kind of a stamp of approval or stamp of disapproval, whichever I see. I've had electronics fail a week into it, so hopefully Tozo will last and do exactly what they say. So, but overall, based upon what I see, based upon the sound and the experience that I've had so far, I'm going to go ahead and recommend Tozo, and hopefully you'll stick around and subscribe and like the channel so you can see the update here in the next 3 to 6 months. Christmas is coming up at $40. This would definitely be a great present for not only your kids, but also somebody, a stocking stuffer. Give them a nice set of Tozo earbuds. And they do have different price points and different product SKUs. So you can go earbuds, you can go over the ear earphones, on the ear earphones, and they've got, like I said, a myriad of different price points for you guys to choose from. So hopefully you got a understanding of exactly what I like as far as audio products go. And again, comparison to some of the higher end, it's hard to do that because so much R&D goes into a product like your Sony's, your Sony's, and they've got, that's a massive, gigantic, gargantuan company. Same with Apple. But I'm going to be honest with you, the comfort level, better than the Sony's. And I have never liked how the Apples fit with that little thing going down. I've never liked it. And the ceiling, I actually had to, if you look on the Apples, I've replaced the bud right here with memory foam because I got ear fatigue and it just didn't seal properly. So I had to modify things a little bit. Same thing I had to do with these. I had to replace this because my ear, it just didn't fit right. And, after a while, the Sony's just hurt. So, not with the Tozos. So far, so good. So anyway, thank you guys. Like and subscribe if you like what you see. And as always, go out and do something creative and sow into your life and also the lives of others, right? You're around other people. Go out and make them smile. All right. We'll see you next time, guys. All right. Bye.